Imagine that tomorrow morning, you wake up and somebody hands you the exact life you've always wanted. The income you've been chasing, the body you've been working toward, the relationship you've been dreaming about, the freedom you've convinced yourself will finally make everything click. How long do you think it would take before that life starts feeling normal? A year? 6 months? 3 months? According to decades of psychological research, the answer is probably much shorter than you'd like. And that's the uncomfortable truth at the center of this entire video. A few years ago, researchers from the London School of Economics and the National Bureau of Economic Research analyzed long-term happiness data from thousands of people. One of the patterns that emerged again and again was that positive life events certainly increased happiness, but the increase was often temporary. People adapted. The emotional boost faded. The new reality became the baseline. In other words, the human brain has a remarkable ability to turn yesterday's dream into today's normal. And while that ability helped our ancestors survive, it creates a strange problem in the modern world. Because modern life constantly teaches us that fulfillment is waiting on the other side of the next achievement. Today I want to bring your awareness to what I believe is the most widespread, yet completely invisible epidemic of our modern age. The feeling that nothing is exciting anymore. People often mistake this for just getting older or becoming cynical. They think it's a character flaw, but it is actually a deeply researched neurological adaptation. Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 signs of why your excitement has flatlined and what is actually happening inside your brain. The dopamine baseline crash. The first sign that you are dealing with this is that things you used to love feel like a chore. You boot up your favorite video game, play for 10 minutes, and turn it off. You open Netflix, scroll for 45 minutes, and then just go to sleep. This isn't because the games got worse or the shows got boring. It is because of a very real biological mechanism called dopamine downregulation. Dopamine is not just the pleasure chemical. It is the molecule of motivation and anticipation. When we are constantly exposed to high dopamine stimuli, like scrolling TikTok for 3 hours, eating hyper-palatable processed foods, and constant notifications, our brain gets overwhelmed. To protect itself from this unnatural flood of stimulation, the brain literally removes dopamine receptors. It turns the volume down. Psychiatrist Dr. Anna Lembke refers to this in her research on the modern dopamine economy. When you constantly spike your dopamine, your baseline level actually drops below normal. So when you try to enjoy a normal, everyday activity, like reading a book or going for a walk, your brain simply doesn't have the receptors available to feel the reward. You are chemically numb. The nostalgia trap. The second sign is that you frequently find yourself looking backward, romanticizing the past. You think, music was just better in the 2000s, or games were so much more fun when I was a teenager. It's a very common trap, but what you are actually missing isn't the era, it's your own fresh neurochemistry. When you are young, your brain's novelty penalty hasn't kicked in yet. Everything is new, which means everything triggers a massive emotional response. By the time you reach adulthood, your brain has recognized patterns. You've seen the plot twists, you understand the gameplay loops, and you know how the song is going to resolve. When nothing feels exciting anymore, it's often because your brain has become too efficient at predicting outcomes. It takes significantly more novelty to surprise a 30-year-old brain than a 15-year-old brain. You aren't losing your passion. You are just experiencing the natural biological cost of experience. 3. The paradox of choice. The third sign is the bizarre phenomenon of having infinite options and choosing absolutely none of them. This is the person who has 400 unplayed games in their Steam library, but stares at their desktop feeling paralyzed. This is a well-documented psychological concept known as the paradox of choice. heavily researched by psychologist Barry Schwartz. Logically, we think that more choices mean more freedom and more happiness. But neurologically, the opposite is true. When a human being is presented with too many options, two things happen. Decision fatigue. The cognitive load of weighing 100 different movies actually drains your energy before you even hit play. Anticipated regret. Once you finally pick something, your brain immediately starts wondering if one of the other 99 options would have been better. This completely destroys the ability to just sit back and enjoy the thing you chose. Your brain is so exhausted from the act of choosing that the reward is stripped away before the experience even begins. 4. The shift to anhedonia. The fourth sign is that you accomplish your goals, but you feel completely empty at the finish line. You get the promotion, you buy the car, or you finish the massive project. And instead of joy, you just feel tired. In clinical psychology, there is a term for the inability to feel pleasure in normally pleasurable activities: anhedonia. While anhedonia is a core symptom of clinical depression, a massive portion of the population is walking around with subclinical anhedonia, caused by chronic burnout. According to recent psychological surveys, over 70% of adults report experiencing symptoms of burnout. When you are in survival mode, when your nervous system is constantly stressed by work, financial pressure, or just the exhausting 24/7 news cycle, your brain shuts down the luxury emotions. Joy, excitement, and awe are biologically expensive. If your brain thinks you are under constant low-grade threat, it diverts all your energy toward just getting through the day. You don't feel excitement because your brain is actively suppressing it to keep you focused on survival. So what do we do? If this sounds like you, the answer isn't to buy a new game, find a new show, or chase a bigger dopamine spike. You cannot outrun a down-regulated reward system. The fix is actually the opposite. You have to starve the system to reset the baseline. You have to endure the boredom. You have to intentionally step away from the high dopamine drip of constant scrolling, cheap entertainment, and infinite choices. When your brain is flooded with high-stimulation activities, it compensates by reducing the density of D2 dopamine receptors in the reward center. The goal of this protocol is to strategically withdraw artificial stimulation, so your brain upregulates those receptors, allowing normal, low-intensity activities to feel rewarding again. Audit and isolate triggers. Target only pathological behaviors. Identify the 2 to 3 specific behaviors causing impairment or distress. Common targets include short-form video feeds, video games, emotional eating, or constant notifications. You are isolating specific artificial spikes, not removing all pleasure from your life. Implement stimulus control. Engineer friction into the environment. Relying on willpower fails when dopamine receptors are actively down-regulated. You must alter your physical and digital environment before cravings hit. Log out of target applications, set your phone to grayscale, or physically remove devices from your workspace. Schedule reset windows. Begin with manageable time blocks. Rather than a dramatic 30-day fast, establish daily boundaries. For example, 1 to 4 hours of targeted abstinence, such as the first hour after waking and the hour before bed. Or designate one specific day per week for limited access. Practice urge surfing. Exposure and response prevention. When you experience cravings or restlessness, do not immediately substitute the behavior. Notice the physical sensation of the urge, acknowledge it without judgment, and wait it out. The urge will peak and subside. This trains your brain to break the automatic stimulus response loop. Substitute with low dopamine alternatives. You cannot simply leave a void. Replace the high stimulation inputs with activities that provide steady, sustainable dopamine release. Engage in outdoor walking, reading physical books, household tasks, or face-to-face conversation. The neurological timeline. A common misconception is that a 24-hour fast cures burnout. Neuroplasticity requires time, and the withdrawal phase is often misinterpreted as the protocol failing. Phase, withdrawal. Timeline, 1 to 3 days. Neurobiological reality. Receptors remain downregulated. The absence of stimuli causes restlessness, irritability, and boredom. Phase, initial upregulation. Timeline, 2 to 4 weeks. Neurobiological reality. D2 receptor density begins to recover, focus improves, and daily tasks feel less tedious. Phase, baseline stabilization. Timeline, 60 to 90 days. Neurobiological reality. Tonic dopamine tone stabilizes. The neural pathways adapt fully to the new baseline. If this lack of excitement isn't just a temporary phase, but a persistent, heavy fog that you've been skillfully hiding behind your daily success, you might be dealing with something much deeper. Click here, because it's time to stop ignoring the signs and uncover the truth about high-functioning depression.